Hi, welcome all once again. Let me start by telling you about edTalks. edTalks are powered by EdForce. They are a lineup of the finest knowledgeable webinars. EdTalks are crafted and delivered by industry experts, veterans, to cater the technical cravings of you and to equip you with emerging technologies and technical developments from across the globe. I will start by introducing our speaker for today. Our speaker for today, Mr. Amit Goyal, has already joined us. Let me tell you a little bit about Amit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to introduce to you Amit Goyal, a remarkable analyst and reporting professional with over a decade of industry experience. Amit's expertise spans across multiple domains, including telecom, finance, supply chain, retail, and staffing. His passion for training and education has led him to deliver corporate, university, and professional trainings for more than 7 years in both classroom and online. Amit is renowned for his ability to develop comprehensive training plans for clients, particularly excelling in business analytics trainings for Fortune 500 companies worldwide. He is a master of visualization tools such as Power BI and Tableau, crafting impactful dashboards and providing analytical solutions for clients across various industries. When it comes to technical skills, Amit's repertoire includes database, SQL Server, MySQL, MS Excel, MS Access, and programming languages like SQL, VBA, R, SAS, SAS DOS, and SAS SQL. He is statistical expert, well versed in techniques such as linear regression, correlation, clustering. Amit has trained professionals from esteemed organizations such as World Bank, Wellness Fargo, EON, Compu, and many more. Moreover, Amit's reach extends beyond geographical boundaries. He has successfully trained over 1,000 professionals worldwide through live online sessions on SAS, Tableau, Power BI, R, and SQL Server. Now he invites you to join this edTalk powered by EdForce. JumpStart with Power BI. This webinar promises to be an extraordinary learning experience that you wouldn't miss. Please welcome Mr. Amit Goyal, a seasoned expert, as he shares his invaluable insights in realm of analytics and reporting. Welcome, Amit.
Hello.
Hi, Amit. Welcome.
Hey, hi. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I hope my voice is audible loud and clear to all of you.
Yes, Amit, your voice is warm.
All right. Thanks, Ritush, for the introduction. Right. So, hi everyone. I welcome you all to this Jumpstart with Power BI. All right. So, guys, let's start this session, right, everyone? I hope you all are excited with this. What you all are going to learn and explore. So everyone, see, when we are now, like today, this session, that we're going to start off with, right? So this is more about where we talk about Power BI, right? So when we talk of Power BI, so what is the thing that comes to our mind? So I would like to hear from you all. So what thing comes to your mind when you think of this Power BI? Yeah, Rohin, please shoot your query. I mean, anything, right? Basically, when we think of Power BI, and any tool over here, okay, visualizations, right? Data visualization tool. We're going to talk about virtual, the reporting tool, something to automate. All right. See, I will say the first thing that strikes our mind over here is that is data, right? Because like this Power BI is just a tool which we are actually going to use and generate some effective insights from that data that we have. Now, Power BI is a tool which is actually going to help us to generate the insights from there. And that is in the form of, visualizations. You might have to, do some data cleansing, data transformation, and a lot of stuff that goes, behind the scenes in terms of coming out with a final report with the help of which, our stakeholders, our clients, they feel happy that, yes, now I'm able to take my decisions based on this, right? So so if I ask you, all right, like as I've just mentioned, that data is something which is the showstopper, right? And Power BI is just a tool to make the best use of it. So if I ask you all, you know, what has changed, in the last few years that we have started talking about the data so much? So what are your thoughts, right? Because you will see every organization today is now trying to leverage that data and is upskilling their workforces to make use of data more and more. So they are taking a lot of data driven approaches. So what's the reason for that? Okay, Magesh says insights, huge data, right? Okay, tremendous insights, decision making. All right, so we have some good answers. See now, all the answers that you're giving over here, they are again the use cases of the data, right? All the data that we have, that how, because that data definitely that is something which can be really helpful in the terms of, you know, generating insights from there, right? But I would say, like what has actually changed in the last couple of years is that we all have started generating more data, right? So I would say data generation is something which has increased, right? The first thing that has happened is the data generation is something that has increased. Now, because the data generation has now I'm saying data generation has increased, but what has led to its increased generation, right? Why are we generating more data today? The answer for that is digitization, right? We all are in the world of digitization today, right? So like if I ask you, right, like if you will just take a look back on your day to day, right, I'm sure you all would have spent couple of hours on the internet for doing your day to day activities. See, like for ordering groceries, right? For ordering, if you have traveled to your office, you would have booked a cab, right? For listening to the music, you would have used some application, right? For watching a movie, you might would have used some application. If you had to transfer some money, right? Paytm, Google Pay, all these applications you would have used to transfer the money. And in fact, this session that we are having right now, right? This session that we are all are having over here right now is also happening over the internet, right? And it's not just these applications, right? If you see all your gadgets, right, they're also something which are connected to the internet, right? Your TVs, smart TVs, right? Your cars, Alexa that we use, Google Home that we use, our air conditioners today these days, right? Air conditioners, your lights, everything is coming connected to the internet, right? So with this internet, what is happening is there is a huge amount of data that we all have started generating, right? So if you all see, right, at a personal level, you all also would have realized this thing that your data needs have changed, right? Now data is no more a technical word. All of us are using this word day in day out in our day-to-day conversations, right? Like for example, in a household things also we use this word a lot today. So what has happened is the data generation has increased, and we all know that from data we can generate humongous of the huge number of insights which can actually help us to take better decisions, right? Now also, if you see, right, if I give you a small example, right, has anyone heard about Amazon smart dustbins? Right, you will actually see that this is a concept which actually tells you this vicious cycle of data. So when you order some groceries from Amazon, right, so Amazon knows which the barcode or which ID item was delivered to you, right? They have that barcode information. Now when that item gets over, what do? We throw that wrapper into the dustbin, right? Now when that wrapper is something which goes in the dustbin, now it will read that barcode from there, and now it understands the item is over. Now what they will do, they are going to that dustbin will send a notification to your Amazon app that would you like to add this item in your cart, right? Because now it understands the item is over. So that's where now it comes back to your cart. So it's like a circle, right? So this is how the data is getting used today, right? We are talking about autonomous car and everything. Everything is using the data. Now, with all this amount of data that we all are generating, right, we need some sophisticated tools which can actually help us to generate insights in a better fashion, in a better way, and a faster and more efficient manner. And that's where Power BI as a tool comes to help us in order to, analyze that data up, right? So Power BI, when we talk about a tool, it's a product of, basically Microsoft, right? And it came into the market around, like 2015 for the general public use. Now, this tool is something, the end product, right? I'm talking about the end product of this tool is visualizations, right? You create reports, right? Which consists of which consists of multiple charts and graphs and everything. So that's what this Power BI as an end product gives it to you. So again, my question comes in, why data visualization? Why do we really need to learn the art of visualization? What's the reason behind that? Because in data science journey, you will actually see that visualizations are actually used in every tool. If you try to learn Tableau, you learn Python, you learn Excel, you use Excel. Everywhere you would have seen visualization are always a part of that journey, right? So easy to understand, right, Amit? Okay. So visualization are something which are more easier to understand. You can absorb the information in a much better way, right? They are less time consuming, right? So you have to spend a lot less time in terms of understanding the data, what the data is trying to portray the picture as, right? Also, what happened is, as a human mind, right? As a human mind, our mind is trained in such a fashion that it understands visuals in a better way, right? If I take a small example, right? So what comes to your mind, uh, when I say water cycle? What comes to your mind when I say water cycle? Cycle. So some sort of an image comes to your mind, right? The clouds, right? A river, right? Some arrows, evaporation, precipitation. Does this kind of an image comes to your mind? Right? Rain, river, clouds, right? Some arrows. Now, this was something, we all have seen in our school days, right? In our very early school days, right? School book image. But still today, we are able to retain that image to our mind, right? But if I'll ask you what was the text that was written below, definitely it will be very tough for us to understand that, okay, what was the story that was all written below. But with that image, we are still able to recall certain things. So that's again another benefit that, the visualizations have. Now, visualization are something which is going to help you narrate a complete, story out of your data, which is easily understandable. People can understand the trends and patterns in a better way. And you become a good storyteller if you are good with data visualization. Now, all these data visualizations that we talk about, right? Now, this is not something you just bring your data and your charts are ready. No, there is a lot of background work also that goes in, right? So first task will be to integrate the data, right? What do we mean by integrate? Integrate means bringing all the data that the organizations are generating to one single place, right? Because in every organization now what happens is data is generated in multiple forms, right? Data can be in Excel, data can be in CSVs, databases, web data, data purchased from the external parties. So data can come in variety of forms. So the first step is to integrate that data to bring it to one single place. And then you have to spend a lot of time in terms of understanding, because see, there are two things. One is called as machine readable data. One is called as human readable data. Now, machine readable, you have to bring the data in a machine readable format, right? Because only then you will be able to generate the insights out of it. Then only you will be able to use that data up for creating charts or doing any of the analysis that you want. So that will need a lot of efforts in terms of data cleansing, transformation, removal of duplicates, etc., etc. Once the data is ready, then you start visualizing it, right? That's when you start creating charts and graphs on top of that. And that's how a complete report is created, which is then shared with the end users or the stakeholders so that they can do some decision making based on that, right? Now, this whole process that I've explained to you, what do we call this? This is called as BI, right? This is called as BI, business intelligence, right? This whole process is called as BI. And the main objective of this is we also have to take care of automating this entire process, right? Because we all know data is dynamic, right? Every day we will get new data, right? And that entire process has to be run so that the reports are updated with the latest numbers. So that is where, we have to automate this entire process so that manual intervention goes out. Now, in order to achieve this kind or this level of, the automation, there are multiple tools in the market which are referred to as BI tools. Okay, so there is Tableau, Power BI, Spotfire, Oracle, multiple tools, right? But definitely talking about the current trends, right? Power BI is one of the most popular tool that I would say in terms of BI, which is used, and Tableau is also one of them, which is which is extensively used for creating reports and graphs because of their simplicity of learning curve plus the kind of features they give for report creation, right? So when we talk of Power BI, so Power BI is now a BI tool. That's how you come to know, right, what that BI stands for in Power BI. Now, this tool comes equipped with data cleaning, data modeling capabilities, right? It also helps you in creating some interactive visualizations. Now, the reason it has become popular is definitely, it is easy to learn and use. You can do complete automation of your data. Plus, subscription cost wise, right? Costing of this tool is also something which is very, very less as compared to the other tools that we have, right? If you compare its cost to Tableau or any other click view tool, the costing is quite less, right? Like the license of a Power BI Pro license cost you just $9.99 per month, right? That's the costing that you have, the monthly costing for Power BI. And if you see, if you talk about, the over here, the Gartner report as well, as per Gartner report also, Microsoft Power BI is one of the market leaders when it comes to data visualization tools, right? So now over here, we're going to talk about the architecture of Power BI, right? See, when we talk of Power BI architecture, so there are three main components that you have, right? So first is Power BI Desktop. Okay, this is the application that you need to install on which the complete report development happens, right? You need to have this complete tool, this application to be installed. Now, this is only available right now only for the Windows machine, not available for Mac or any other operating system. This Power BI tool can be connected to diverse set of data sources. Your data is in SQL, Hadoop, Salesforce, Excel, CSVs, PDFs, any source your data is, Power BI can be easily connected to that, right? The complete data cleansing, all the activities happen over here within this tool, right? All your data cleansing, data modeling, whatever you want to do is going to happen over here. Once your report is ready, now comes the time where you have to share this report with the end users so that they can do some decision making based on that. Now, for doing that, you have to buy the license of Power BI service. Now, this is the $9.99 cost that I was talking about. You have to pay for this, right? For this license, you have to pay that monthly amount. Now, with the people with whom you share the report, right, they should also have the license of Power BI service. Then only they will be able to see that report. Now, with that cost, you get a lot of features, right? On the Power BI service, you will be able to, automate the report, data refreshes, set up the alerts, row level securities. A lot of things will come, which will actually justify the cost that you will be paying on a monthly basis. Now, when the report is published, end user can actually see all those reports on their mobile phones by installing the application of Power BI, or they can see the reports on their iPads, tablets, or on their normal laptop or PCs as well. So that's how the complete architecture of Power BI looks like. So any questions, anyone, on this till this part, on this architecture, especially if I talk about? Yep, all good. Okay. So Rohin, so no. So on the MacBook, you cannot install the Power BI desktop. This application, you can access the Power BI service because it's a cloud-based application, but Power BI desktop cannot be installed. Okay. Yes, desktop is free. see that if you will ask, right, the basic difference, if you see, every tool has its own advantages and disadvantages. See, when you compare Power BI with Tableau, right? So Tableau has a better performance when it comes to huge data, and Power BI somewhere, struggles to work with the huge data sets. But the Tableau doesn't have data cleansing capabilities inbuilt. You have to use another tool or a separate tool for that. Whereas when it comes to Power BI, data cleansing, data modeling capabilities, they are all inbuilt in the tool itself. You don't have to depend on any other tool for that. And also, costing wise, like we were discussing, costing wise, Power BI is way cheaper if you compare it to the Tableau, right? Yes, we can do that. We can do the real-time data analysis as well. No, Manish. So for downloading the visuals in PPT, you will have to buy the license. So from Power BI desktop, you can only convert the report into a PDF file, or otherwise you will use snipping tools to break that up, right? So that's something you will have to do that. Okay. All right. So now, Power BI is basically made from three main components. One is Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. See, all these options are available in your Excel as well. Has anyone used it in Excel? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View? Yep. See, for MacBook, you don't have this, right? So guys, MacBook, again, the question to answer it, in MacBook, you can't use Power BI desktop, right? So now it's like, the application based, right? So like the applications which only run on certain application, right? Like numbers is something, an application of Mac. I cannot run it on the Windows, right? So every tool will, have, and, we all know, right? Microsoft and Apple always have the competition among them. Okay. All right. So now the Power Query is a component which is going to help you for data cleansing. This is the engine which does all the data cleansing work for you. Power Pivot is something which does the data modeling for you, right? And Power View, this is the engine which is responsible for data visualization, right? So this is how these three different components are used, right? So for all these three different parts, you have these three engines which are actually available in Excel also. So Microsoft just very smartly picked up those features, made a new tool, Power BI, and just optimized those features. So that is where we got this tool. So now with this, what we will do now over here is we're going to jump on to the tool itself and get the things, get our hands dirty and start analyzing the data over there. So for this, what I'll be doing right now is if anyone wants to install this, the Power BI. So here is the link for that. You just go onto this link, right? So I'll put this in the chat as well. Okay. So you have to click on see download or language options. Okay. And you will be able to download the Power BI desktop from here. So 64-bit, you just have to download one file depending upon what version you are using, 64-bit or 32-bit. So you can download this application and get this thing installed. Okay. So licenses are, user dependent, basically number of users you have. So one license for one user. Okay. Because this Power BI service account actually gets linked with your Microsoft Office. It gets linked with your Microsoft Office suite. So that's like, like every user has one Excel account. Similarly, every user will have one Power BI account. All right. So now see what I will do is before we start, first of all, I would like to show you the data that we all are going to use over here for, understanding of the Power BI interface and the features of Power BI. I'm just opening that Excel file to give you a brief about the data. Okay. See, this is the data set that we all are going to use over here. In this data set, this is the data set of an e-commerce organization. So like when you buy something from an online store, there is an order ID that is generated, order date, on what date you purchased it, when was it shipped, what was the shipping mode, customer details, customer ID, customer name, segment, from which country, city, and state that order was purchased, right? From which region, what product did he purchase, and that product belong to what category, subcategory, product name, sales value, how much quantity did he purchase, discount if anything was offered, what was the profit the store made by selling that item, right? So now what I'm going to do over here is, this is the file. Now see, this Excel file has three sheets. One is orders, returns, and people. In the order sheet, you have the data regarding all the orders that were sold. In the returns, you have the data regarding, the like sometimes we don't like the order, we return it back. So you have the order ID which was returned by the customer, right? And in the people sheet, we have the manager name. For every region, there is a manager. So we have the region, the manager name over here. So now what I'll do is, I'll be launching my Power BI desktop, which is already installed on my machine. Let me share it up on the chat. Okay. So now if I come back, see when you open the Power BI desktop, see guys, because we are a little bit, we have a very limited time with us. So although I think, the recordings and all will be also be shared with you. If certain things you are not able to do parallelly with me, so do not worry. So you can also follow it up and, do it by watching the video as well. So yeah. Okay. So when you open the Power BI desktop, this is how the interface of Power BI desktop looks like. Okay. See at the top, you have the ribbon, right? This is called as the ribbon. So this ribbon, you will find it very similar to like the other products of Microsoft. You have a home tab, insert tab, modeling tab. There are different tabs that are given to you. And within each tab, there are different operations that you have. Now, for example, if I want to come over, if I, want to load the data from some Excel source. So I'll click on Excel file, right? So, like as I was telling you, Power BI can be connected to different data sources very easily. So you will see over here, get data option is something that you have where you will find the list of all the data sources to which Power BI can be connected. If you want to load the data from Excel, SQL Server, text file, you click on more and you will have the complete list of data sources with you. It will just take a while. The list will come up. Right? You can see now this is the complete list of data sources to which Power BI can be connected, right? R, Python, Alteryx. You just name the source, you will find it over here, right? So Informatica, right? All the list of data sources are here. Now we have to load the data from Excel. So I'll click on Excel workbook, right? I'll go to my folder where that file is. I just select that file. Oh, yes, we can connect to the Salesforce. Yes, it can be connected to the SAP as well. See, for SAP, you will have to install a connector. Now that connector is provided by the SAP itself, which is free of cost. And then the SAP and, this Power BI can be connected. Okay. So Jyoti, we can do the same with SAC. What is SAC? I'm not sure. Now see, as I was telling you, right, the same thing, like, you can send a message from WhatsApp also, you can send a message from, Telegram also, you can do the normal messaging, Hike also, there are, like these are different products from different companies, right? So these are like, there are multiple products from different companies that we have. So based on our comfort level, based on the requirement that we have, what we do is we take a call that, okay, which tool we should be going ahead with, right? That's what the thing is. And also, what happened is most of the time we go with the things which are more popular, right? So that's where, like WhatsApp is used more as compared to Telegram or any other messaging application. Similarly, Power BI also gained that kind of a reputation where it is being used highly because of its ease of use, costing, and connectivity with the different data sources. Okay. So I'm just making a connection to that file. So it's just making a connection to that Excel file, and you will see the name of all the sheets will be visible over here on the left hand side. No. So I mean, see, when you buy, so when you buy that license of Power BI service, that is anyhow, no, actually, no, actually it's just, so this is basically just that I think my system is little bit, I think it is just cranked down. That's why it's taking a bit of a time. Otherwise, it doesn't take that much time. So if you select the sheet of orders, right? So over here, what it does is it shows you the preview of the data, what type of data that you are loading. And then when you select that sheet, see right now what I'm doing, I'm loading only the data of one sheet, that is orders. So I have to click on load. That is going to load up the data in the Power BI. If I click on load, now the data load will start up, right? Please remember, Power BI is a little bit heavy on the RAM, right? So basically what happens now is if multiple Power BI files are opened up on your system, you might notice your system performance might go a bit down. So if you're not using Power BI, it's a good habit to always, delete those, close those Power BI files. Otherwise, you might have an impact on your system. See, all the rows are getting loaded up. Right, so we have approximately 10,000 rows of data with us, right? So data is loaded. And you can load all the three sheets. Yep, we can load all the three sheets as well. So right now, I just wanted to use the data of one sheet. So that's why I've just selected one of the sheets, not all the sheets. So basically, Narasimha, so Power BI is not basically a a tool which we use for prediction. So yes, if you have created some model in Python and all, in that case, you can connect Power BI to the Python and you can showcase those results over here. Okay. Right. So now you will notice the data is loaded. So it's just evaluating. And when the data is loaded in the Power BI, so what it does is there is a huge compression of the data that happens over here on this. Seems like, my system needs a reboot. Otherwise, it doesn't take that much time. It just loads the data within few seconds.
Amit, in that case, do you want to take a 2-5 minutes break if that's what you're looking for?
Yeah, we can do that if that works.
Yeah, because if that helps your system.
Yeah, so we can quickly have a 2-3 minutes of break. In the meantime, I'll just quickly just start it up.
Okay, you may join again.
Yeah.
Guys, in the meanwhile, while Amit is rebooting his system, you guys can also take a 3 minutes break. We'll recoup at about 4:10. But I would request you not to log off from the webinar. Also, for all those who are sticking, please note that there are amazing Amazon vouchers which will follow. For that, all you need to do is you will have to give feedback on edForce Google page. On the edForce Google search result, just write a feedback. How was the edTalk? How was the session? Your feedbacks are really valuable to us. Share a screenshot with me. My email ID will be shared with you in the feedback form, which comes from Zoom. After sharing the feedback on Google, as well as following us on LinkedIn, you will get an Amazon voucher. I hope you all are enjoying Amit's webinar, edTalk. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. He had to reboot his system. I see a few hands. Let me see. Please type in chat. Santosh, you have something to ask. Please type. Sarvana also has, Divishri also has some question. Yeah, I see a lot of hands raised up. Can I please know? Can you please start typing in the chat what is this in regards with? No, so that'll be a cash Amazon voucher for 1,000 rupees. Sure, you will be shortly receiving an email, and all the details are also provided in the Zoom feedback link, which will come after this talk to you if you stick till the end. By the way, I hope you all are enjoying and learning. Amit is a great trainer. Yes, I see a lot of yeses. That's really nice. I see an amazing turnout of 350 plus participants who are still right now. We reached up till 400. I hope you all are enjoying. Amit seems to be back. I told you by 4:10 we all will be back. Amit sir.
Okay. Hi.
Hi Amit, welcome back.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks for this. Thanks for waiting, everyone.
That's great. I hope it will be helpful for everyone because you rebooted your system. Back to you.
Yeah, Ashush, can you just pass me those rights for screen sharing?
Sure, I am. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you. Right, so let's come back. So I'll just repeat that activity, right? We can click on Excel and we'll load that file up. Okay, so here we have the order sheet, right? So this is where, I select. So like the question was being asked. So if you want to load the multiple sheets, you can just select all of them together as well, right? So if you want to load all of them. So if I click on load now, so what will happen is see all the 3 sheets will be loaded right into the Power BI. So now, it's going to happen quick because, the system is rebooted. So 2 sheets are loaded. So that's where the 3rd sheet will be loaded now. Okay. So now what happens is once the data is loaded, everyone. So this is where you will see this is called as a data pane, right? So in the data pane, what happens is you will be able to see all that data that is loaded that will be visible over here. So Suresh, basically what happened is there are different type of licenses that we have. If you are going to, like for example, if you're going with a pro license, so your file size cannot exceed 1 GB, right? If you're using a premium license, so then you can customize it and then your data limit is increased, right? So you see right now, everyone, on the right side, you can see all the 3 sheets have been loaded up. So if I expand orders, so here you will be able to see all the fields that were there in that data, right? Now here you have all the different type of charts that you can create in Power BI, right? If you come to your left hand side, you will see there are 3 options that you all will observe. See, one, this is the report view which we are currently in, right? Second option is data view. See, in the data view, what happen is you can take a complete look of your data. If you quickly want to see what data you have loaded, so here you can have a look of that. See, this orders data, That is something which we have loaded. So you will be able to see that up. But you can't make changes over here right now, right? In this data view, you can't make changes to the data. You click on people, you will be able to see the rate of people. You click on returns, you will be able to see the rate of returns, right? So now what we will do is we will start with the orders data, right? Like when it comes to a retail data, a data like this. So what kind of, the insights come to your mind? So what do you think, what kind of insights we should be showing up, in our report that we create? So if this is the data, so any thoughts from you guys? See, forecast. So over here in Power BI, we do a descriptive analysis, right? So, right. So time series analysis, sales by categories, subcategories, etc., etc. Like the first chart that I'm going to create over here is I'll pick up this chart, that is column chart. I would like to see how much sale happened across the different subcategories. See, over here in Power BI, what you do is you have to select first of all the chart that you want to, create. Then what happen is when you select a chart at the bottom, you all will notice these options will come up like x-axis, y-axis. So now over here, you have to simply drag and drop the field. So like, for example, I pick up the field of subcategory. If I drag subcategory on the x-axis, see all your subcategory names will come on the x-axis. And I want to showcase sales on the y-axis. So what this is going to do right now is this will create a chart for me where I will be able to see how the sales happened across the different subcategories, right? Now you can see the highest sale has happened across the phones and the lowest sale has happened across the fasteners. So that's where a chart is ready within seconds where I can see how the sales has happened. Now, when you make a chart, you also get some interesting features over here. Like, for example, you want to see this chart in a focus mode, right? You can bring the chart in a focus mode, right? If you want to make this chart and you want to export the data, see data just of this chart, you can do that. You want to show the chart in the form of a table also, right? You have a chart also, and below that you have the table also. You can do that, right? If you suppose come over here, you want to remove the chart, you can do that. You want to sort the chart. See, you want to sort the chart by sales in ascending order. We can change the sorting, right? So sorting options, you want to sort descending, whatever you want, you can change the sorting with just one click. Now, whenever we make a chart, see what happen is a very integral part of reporting is also formatting. We have to ensure that the reports that we are creating, they are something that, that is something the end user should find it nice and healthy in terms of look and feel. So that's where Power BI provides you the feature. Like if you come over here, right? So this is formatting. So if you click on this, there are abundant options that are available, which can help you in formatting of the data. Like for example, on the x-axis, you want to make the x-axis as bold. You want to, increase its font size. You want to play with the colors. So you will be able to do all those changes with clicks, right? You want to do some formatting on the y-axis. You have the options for that. You want to change the color of the bars. You can click on the columns. You can choose different colors over here, right? You want to show the data labels. You can bring the data labels as well, right? So you go to the general, see what Power BI has done. You know what Microsoft has done? They have broken these charts into two parts, the formatting into two parts, visual and general. See, visual means now these are the options. Basically, these are very chart specific formatting options, chart specific. And general is something which is like applicable to every chart, right? All the charts that you have. Now, those options will be available as same options in every chart. Like if I go in general, you want to apply the effects. You want to apply the border around the chart. You want to apply shadow effect to the chart. So you will be able to do that up. You want to play with the title, right? You want to write your own fancy title. Total sales by subcategory, right? You can make it bold, right? The title, you want to make it middle line, right? You want to change the text color, right? I change the text color to white, background color to dark gray. See. So you see this custom settings I have done to enhance the look and feel of my chart that I have created. Okay. Now, if I come over here, so guys, there are some questions that are coming up. So definitely I'll answer them up little bit. Just once we do a little bit of a content, then I'll take those questions. Okay. Now what I do over here is, this is the first chart that I have created, right? So quick formatting and the chart is ready. Now, for example, I want to do a time series analysis. Now, see, in time series analysis, which type of chart do we use? Right? We use a line chart. So if I click on the line chart, see, when you select the second chart, please make sure this chart is not selected. If suppose this chart is selected and you click on the line chart, see, this chart will change to line, right? So if you press undo, that you can do it, Control Z. You have to click outside, select the second chart. That's where the next chart will come up. That is line chart. Now, see, now in the line chart, you will see a very interesting feature that Power BI offers, right? So again, x-axis, y-axis. I'm going to pick up the field of order date, put that on the x-axis. All right. So I put that up on the x-axis. Then I'll pick up the sales and I'll put it on the y-axis. See, now what happened is when you talk about dates, right? Now, date is something what it does. It offers a lot of extractions that can be done from there, right? From the date, you can extract year, you can extract quarter, you can extract month, you can extract day, right? So from the dates, you can extract multiple things. Now, the same thing what Power BI has done automatically for you. You see, there are some arrows are coming at the top of the chart. See, right now the chart is at yearly level. I can see year-wise sales over here in this. Now, if I click on this option, go to next level in the hierarchy. If I click on this, see, the chart has gone to the next level. So now there are two options for doing that. See, one option is this, one option is this. So if I start with the very first option over here, now if I click on this, see, the chart will go from year to, quarter level, right? Quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, right? If I click on the same option again, the chart will go to the month level. I click it again, the chart will go to the day level. So see how deep you can go with your analysis, right? From year to quarter, quarter to month, month to day, right? With just one click, as an end user, you will be able to very easily go deep dive into your data. This option is drill up, right? So you want to go to the level up again. That's where you can use the option of drill up in this case, right? Then if you come, there is a second option. See over here, if I click on this option now, the chart will take you to the quarter level, but you see only 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, right? If I click on it again, now you see only month, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. So any idea, right? How we can, what this chart is showing all of you? Yes, and there we have the alignment option, right? You want to distribute the charts even, horizontally, vertically, the same option that you see in Excel also, they are there. Right? See, this is showing January of all the years, February of all the years, March of all the years, likewise. So it has aggregated the data of all the years together in 1 month, right? Now, is this chart helpful? Yes. See, this chart is going to help you to identify seasonality in your business, right? Basically, what happens is when you talk about time series analysis, there are two things that you look out for. One is trend. Trend is, have your things gone up or down over the years? Seasonality, which are the months when the sale is high, which are the months when the sale is low, right? Like, for example, sale of cold drink is always high in summers, low in winters, right? So this chart is going to help you identify which are the peak months and which are the slow months, right? That's what you will be able to identify from here. Make sense, all of you, this chart? Right? Now, if I again level it up, there is also another option that you have. So like, for example, if you will see, there is an arrow. If I click on this arrow, and now if I click on 2015, see, this chart will take me to the quarters of 2015. right? All the 4 quarters of 2015. If I click on any quarter, it will show me the months of that quarter. And if I click on any month, it will show me the days of that month. So that's how I can see and I can again analyze my data by, doing a point and click. Where do you want to see the analysis? And just, just a click on that and you will be able to do that. And then make sure you turn this feature off, right? Okay. Now, if I want to apply the same formatting that I have over here onto this chart, right? If I want to do that formatting. So if I select this chart over here, I'll come over here. I'm going to say that I would like to, use format painter, and I click on this. So you will notice the same formatting has been applied over here as well. See, the same formatting has been applied to this chart also. Okay. Yep. So Amit, we can do that up. So you want to highlight certain things. We have the option of conditional formattings that can be used. How can someone know from chart which year is it showing? No, so that's what the user will be doing, right? As an end user, when you see over here, the years are anyhow already on the chart, right? Now, if end user is someone who thinks that, okay, I want to see how the things have happened for 2016, he will be clicking on 2016, right? When he clicks on that, right? Sorry, if I turn this feature on and if I click on that, so it shows me July 2016, the quarters over here, the year is coming. You click on any quarter, then you will see the months of that year. You click on that, you will be able to see the days of that, right? So all the information is there, whatever you are clicking. And anyhow, you can always, hover on the tooltip also to see the detailed information, right? If you see there's a tooltip that comes up, that gives you the complete information as well. Okay. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll be adding the next chart over here. So for example, I want to make a pie chart. So if I add a pie chart, right, I would like to understand, see in the pie chart, you don't have any X or Y axis, right? We don't have any X or Y axis in a pie chart. So what I'll do over here is if I bring segment onto the legend, right? And I bring sales into the values. So you will be able to see how the sales happened across the different segments. And I can apply the format painter over here as well, right? So Praveen, this is what you are making right now. So technically all these options will not be there to the end user. So this only the central canvas will be visible to the end user. That's how it will look like to them, right? All the other options that you see, they will not be there. Only this canvas option will be visible to the end user. So now you see there are 3 charts that we have added. Now, for example, the next analysis that I would like to do over here is I would like to understand how the sales happened across the different countries or states. So now in Power BI, see, this was when we made this chart. In this, what we were doing, we were showing more of a inbuilt hierarchy, right? This was an inbuilt hierarchy where we had shown like year, quarter, and month. This was automatically created by Power BI. Now, if I want to do a geographical analysis, so I'll show you 2 things over here. Okay. So I would like to do a geographical analysis where I would like to see how the sales happened across the country, states, and cities. So I will be creating a map for that very thing, right? What will I be doing? I'll be creating a map for that. So what I do is I pick up the map visual. And then what I'll do is I'm going to pick up the field of country. Then I'll pick the field of state. See, in this data, we only have the data of one country, that is United States, right? Then I'll pick the field of state, drag it over here, and then I'll pick the city. See, now, this is a hierarchy that is kind of created, by us. This is like a custom hierarchy. Now, when you have a hierarchy, when you have multiple things that are dragged into the chart, you will see these arrows coming over here. So now again, if I click over here, right now the chart is at topmost level country. If I click on this, the chart will go from country to state level. right? And if I click on it again, the chart will go from state to city level, right? So very easily we can again navigate from country to state, state to cities, right? And if I go up, the chart is going to go back to that above level. So let's keep it at a state level for a while. Now on the map, if you scroll down in the options, you have an option of bubble size. So if I drag sales on the bubble size, see the size of the bubbles will change, and we can understand bigger the size of the bubble, bigger the bubble, higher the sales, smaller the bubble, lower the sales, right? So that's what I'm able to understand from the map. All right. So now I'll just pick this up, format painter, and I'll apply it over here as well. So the charts have the same look and feel over here, right? Okay. So this is where you see the 4 charts have been created. Yes, Ganesh, you can edit. You can do the editing in the terms of cleansing of the data, right? You cannot change the values as such. You can do replacement of the values if you want, that we can do it, right? So, right, Praveen. So it's like no coding is required for making this up. Now, if you see over here right now, everyone, there are 4 charts that I have added as of now. Now, if I want to add more charts, definitely what will happen now is I will need some more space. So if I click outside somewhere, so now the formatting option that you will see, that is going to come up for the page. So if I click on this, you will see there is a canvas settings option. I can make it as custom, and let's increase the height 2000, and let's make the width as 15, right? So I've just added more space to accommodate more number of charts in this. Okay. Yes, Santosh, if you want to extract the data from the chart, we can do that. You select the chart, click on the 3 dots, and you can say export data. So we can do that. Okay. All right. So now this chart, that we have created. So there are 4 charts that I have added. Now see, when we work with the reports, there is a requirement that always comes up where the users would like to have some slicing and dicing features available to them, right? Because they would like to see or focus on a particular data. So for that, Power BI provides you the option of slicer. So if you click on the slicer, right? So with the slicer, what happens now is, see, if I add a slicer over here, suppose I add a slicer of region. Now, if the user selects central, see the data will be shown in all the charts for central, east, west, south, whatever you select. See, all the charts are now showing me the data of these 4 regions over here. Make sense, all of you? And if you want to make multiple selections, you can press Control key. So you can show the data over here. Multiple regions also can be selected. You press Control key, more than one region can be selected. Okay. Now, for example, let's put one more slicer. So, you can also copy the visual. If you say Control C, Control V, you will be able to copy the visual as well, right? So let's remove the region from here and let's add shipping mode in this. So I have added shipping mode over here. Okay. Sorry, I have added ship date by mistake. Ship mode. So now a shipping mode has been added over here. Right. So there are 2 slices that we have added to, with the help of which user can select some values. So Amol, so by default, this slicer will work only on this page, right? This slicer is going to work only on this page. But if you want, and it will work on all the charts. Now, definitely, if you want to do the customizations, we have the options where if you want that, okay, this slicer should first of all work only on this chart or this chart, you can change that. If you want that whatever you are selecting, it should work on the other sheets also, which sheet should work, that can all be customized. Everything can be customized. Okay. So now what happens over here is, see, these analysis that I have done. Now over here, let's go to the data. Now see, when you go into the data view, so if I show you the people data, so when you take a look on the people data, do you have any observation on this? So any observation that you have on this people data? I'll just show you the map as well, guys. Column name, right? So when the data was loaded, the column names were not properly loaded by Power BI. You can see person, region. These are not loaded properly. Now that means this calls for a data cleaning step. So this calls for a data cleaning step. So what I will have to do, if I go to the home tab, see here you will see there's an option of transform data. Now what happens is if you click on the transform data, this opens a new window for you. So do you remember, right? Like when I was explaining you things in the slide, I told you about the components, right? So Power Query was the component that we use for data cleansing. So if you will see right now, right over here in the Power Query, this is written over here. Power Query has opened up for us, which will give us the functionality to do the data cleansing, right? In the Power Query, what happens is you will get a lot of options to transform your data. And you can see the glimpse of the data here. And on the left-hand side, you can see these are the three tables that we loaded. Now, what happens in Power Query, everyone is Power Query always, remembers all the steps that you have done in terms of data cleansing or data transformation, right? So Power BI or Power Query always remembers those steps which which it has applied in terms of data cleansing or data preparation. So now over here, like, when we loaded the data, what was the first thing that we did? We connected to the Excel file, right? That was the first thing that we did. We connected to the Excel file. So this was the step that was used over here to capture that. So if I click on the source, you can see this was the, the source, that was the Excel file, it has captured it. Second step was navigation. We all got that navigation window where we were able to see that, that this is the data that is getting loaded. Then Power BI automatically assigned the headers. It was able to understand that the first row is a header. And then what the next step Power BI did, it assigned a data type to each column. It said, okay, in this first column, complete data is numeric. It says 1, 2, 3. That is a whole number. Over here, the data is of character type. It assigns ABC, right? Over here, it's date. So Power BI has assigned data type to each field. But somehow, when it comes to people table, the step of, that, or, the header identification didn't happen because, maybe the data structure was a little different in the Excel or some of the other reasons. So now if you come over here, you see a step over here, use first row as header. So if you click on that, Power BI will understand that you want to assign first row as a header. So you can see first row has been assigned as a header. If you come to the returns, the same thing is the challenge over there also. My header are not coming properly. So can I apply the same step? Use first row as header. Make sense, all of you? Right? So this is the option that I've clicked on. To see how I opened this dialog box was, guys, over here only in the Power BI file. We had this option, transform data. So when you click on transform data, this window opens up. Okay. Now see, similarly, you have multiple options over here to basically do the cleansing or preparation. You want to remove some rows. You want to remove top rows. So if I say I want to remove top 5 rows, see, it will delete the first 5 rows. Right? Now, please remember in the Power Query, undo doesn't work. You can't do undo. So if you want that data back, click on the cross sign. If I click on the cross sign, my data will be back, right? You want to remove any blank rows, you can do that, right? You want to remove any column, like this column you don't need, you can simply say remove columns, the column can be removed, right? You want the column back, undo that step. So you will have abundant options over here to do the data cleansing and all. Make sense, all of you? Any questions till this point? Anyone has? Now see over here, there are a lot of options. So since this is just a kickstart, so I'm just giving you an overview of all the features that you will see. But definitely to go through all the options in a detailed manner. So definitely we'll need ample time for that. No, Vinod, you can't edit the values. Like for example, you want to replace that you can do. Like for example, I am saying that in the shipping mode, I want to replace second class with new class. See, it will replace that. That you can do. Okay. But I can't click on a cell and I can't change the value. See, the reason for that is because what happens is when you refresh the data, so Power BI is going to apply the same steps on that data again. So that's where that option is not available. So replacement will happen. Okay. So split column, Praveen, is something like text to column. Like if you want to split this column at every hyphen. So you can say split column by delimiter. So what will happen? It will split the data for you. So at every hyphen, it will split the data for you. Okay. So now once you make the changes over here, guys, once you make the changes in the Power Query, what we have to do is you have to click on close and apply. So when you click on close and apply, that's where all these changes will be applied. And now you will notice the data will come in the correct shape. So Vishnu, can we join? Yes, you can do that. You can join multiple sheets. You can join horizontally also. You can append the data also. Everything can be done. Right? So Payal, where do you want to add the new data? I mean, see, if you want to add the new data, you will actually be adding the data in the Excel. You just add the data in the Excel and refresh it. So that new data will come in the Power BI. Because see, Power BI is not a data source. It's collecting the data from there, right? So Khandeep, you can't do the undo in the Power Query. Power undo can happen in the Power View where you make the charts, but not in the Power Query. But you can just close the window, discard the changes, the things can come back. Yeah, Manish, we can add the new columns also. All right. See, now if you see over here in the data view, see now my three tables are coming correctly. Orders, people, returns, right? So now see guys, I told you there is a feature of data modeling, right? I told you that there is a feature of data modeling in Power BI, right? So see now what is data modeling? So if you come over here, this is called as the model view. If I click on the third option, this is called as model view. In the model view, you will see the three tables over here. See, these are the three tables over here. See, modeling means that, see, like one of the questions that was being asked, right? Like, for example, who asked this question? I mean, they were like, yeah, Vishnu, you asked, right? Can we join two or more Excel files? See, if you will actually see over here, you really don't need to combine it with the help of data modeling. You can actually achieve it with simple drag and drop. So see, three tables. What is the common thing between these two tables? That is region, right? Region is common between the two tables. So Power BI has created a relationship that, okay, if you will bring something from here and something from here, it's like VLOOKUP, right? In a very layman's term, I'm telling you, it's like a lookup. So Power BI will be able to make that relationship that, okay, the data has to come something from here, and they have a common field. Let's do it. What is the common thing between orders table, this table and this table, guys? What is the common thing between these two? order ID. So now I will connect this table also. See, if I drag order ID from here and from here, see, a relationship will be created between the two tables like this. Now see, all the three tables, there were three separate Excel sheets. They are now connected to each other, right? All the three sheets are connected to each other. Make sense, all of you? Right? Now these tables are connected to each other. Now, if I come back to my report view, right? Now, if I come back to my report view, I want to create a chart where I would like to see how much sale was done by each manager, right? How much sale was done by each manager. So for that, suppose what I do right now is I make a table, right? I make a table. I'll go in my people table. I'll pick up the person name, put it over here. I'll go into my table of, this orders. I'll pick up the sales. See, now I can clearly see how much sale was done by each manager, right? So the data was in the two separate Excel sheets, right? The data was in two separate Excel sheets. Am I able to achieve it? Yes. For example, I want to see how many orders did every customer sell. How many orders did every manager sell, right? So what I do is if I pick the order ID and I put it over here and I change it to count distinct. See, now I can see how many orders every manager sold. So I have that information as well with me where I can see how many orders were sold by each manager, right? This is a table format, so I can see the complete information in this. Okay. Now, if you see these tables are connected to each other right now, so that's where I'm able to see that information, right? So if I go back over here in the returns table, see in the returns table, I have those order IDs which were returned by the customer, right? So if I now bring the order IDs from that table and I change it to count distinct, right? See, now you will notice over here, it's giving the information as 296. See, for every order, for every manager, it's saying that 296 orders were something that were returned by the customer. It's saying 296 orders were returned by under each manager, right? Can it be possible that under each manager, same number of orders were returned? Right? So it's not possible, right? That every manager has the same orders. So now if you will see over here, what's the issue? The issue is relationship. See, I have a relationship between this and this table. I have a relationship between this and this table, right? But do I have any relationship between these two tables? Do we have any relationship between these two tables? No, right? So if you will see over here, now, if you see that, there is some arrow that is going, that the data is going to travel from here to here, and data is going to travel from here to here. Now, I have picked up the manager name from here. So from here, I want to pick how many order IDs were returned. So what I can do is, now this is a little bit more advanced concept of data modeling. If you come over here, if I double click on this line direction, we can make it direction as both. Now, when you make it as both means now data can travel from this table to this table and from this table to this table as well, right? The data can travel in both ways. Now, data can go from here to here, from here to here, right? So I've just changed the direction. Now, if you go back and check the result, see, it has got corrected out. 189, 24, 44, 39. So now I am able to see that, okay, these many orders were returned under him, these many orders he sold, and these many orders were returned under him. Getting it? So you see, plain vanilla Excel files we had, right? Now what I have done over here is with just simple modeling technique. This is called as entity relationship, right? ER diagrams, right? If you come from the database background, that's what we call it as. You see, with simple clicks itself, I'm able to do these things. If you had to do the same things in the Excel, you would have spent hours and hours, in able to applying VLOOKUPs, making pivot tables, blah, 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 and then you would have achieved this thing up. Make sense? So renaming the header you can do from here, right? Like you have the data set, you can, just double click on that, you can rename that. Double click and rename it. That's how you can rename the data set. Rename the column, sorry. Okay, so this is where this chart is created. Now, like for example, if I want to come up and I want to make a pie chart or maybe donut chart, let's pick a donut chart. I would like to see, I pick the column of returns.return. I pick the column of yes, put it in the legend. And then I pick the count of order ID from the orders table. See, a chart is ready for me where I can see what percentage of orders were returned and what percentage of orders were not returned. See, I have a chart with me. So I can see out of all the orders that I sold, 8% of the orders were returned and 92% of the orders were not returned. So that's where my chart is created over here. So if you see right now, this is what the complete analysis is. So I can just apply the format painter, right? I can apply the format painter over here as well to bring all the charts into nice looking view. And I can put a title over here. If you click on the text box, I'll like to put a title over here for my report as sales report. I'll make it bold, make it center aligned, increase the font size, right? So you can see my title for the report is ready. Okay. Now if I go back, just a second, guys. See, if I want to bring a logo over here of my brand, so what I can do is if I just click on insert, I can say insert an image and we can go and pick the image from here, right? So you can put the logo of your brand and there it is, right? So that's how you make your report. And now you want to save it, you can click on save option. And wherever you like to save it, you can just save that file. Okay. So this is how your report is saved. Right. No, so when you can't have a direct relationship between people and it. See, to make the relationship, you need to have something in common, right? That's how the relationships are created, right? So that's it. So, right, how to add new data in Excel? In Excel, you go back now. Like, for example, if I open that Excel file, so right, just to make that thing very clear to you. So, like, for example, let me open that Excel file for you. Just give me a second, I'm just opening the file. See, this is the Excel that I've opened up. Okay. So if I come over here, suppose if I add a new data over here, I'm just adding some random data, Control D. Let me change the name of the segment. Let's call it as new segment. See, I've added a new data in the Excel, right? Now I save this file. See, I saved this file. If I'll go to my Power BI, I just have to come to the home tab. See, in the segment, I don't see new segment right now. But if I will refresh it, see, it will just take a while to refresh the data. See, the moment the data will be refreshed, you will be able to see the data coming up over here. Just a second. So just refreshing it up. Because when the refresh happen, all the data steps are applied again. The data cleansing that we did. Just take a while. So Jogesh, can we edit the master file with the dashboard still open? Master file Excel, you are saying? You can do that. You can make those changes. See, now this time you will see in the orders data, more number of rows will be loaded. And in the orders data, you will actually see more number of records will be loaded. More than 10, it should be around 10,000 or something like that. So it's loading the data up. See, there it is. Now in the segment chart, oh, what happened? Just give me a second. So you see now, new segment has also come up in this over here right now, everyone. Like the data that I added. Correct? Perfect. So that's how the things are done. Suppose if you have a sheet with columns, name and date of birth, can we extract a pie chart as? You can do that. You can add columns, measures as well in this calculations if you want. Okay. So to share the Power BI file, guys, you have to publish this file. See, I'll publish this file onto my account. I will save this and I'll publish this. So this file will go to the Power BI service account. See, I already have that license account with me. So if I click on select, see this file will be published. So from the Power BI service account, you share this report with the end user. See, this file is published. Now this file will open up over here. Yes, Santosh, you can get the data from Oracle, MySQL, whatever you want. You can do that up. See, from here you share the report. So if I click on share, you just have to put the email address of that person. That person will receive an email that a report has been shared, right? If you want, you can generate, if you are on the report, you can generate the other options as well, where you can, generate a public link in case you want to share this report with everyone. So that's how you share it. This option pile, we can do that. So while creating the report, you have to make those changes, right? Got it. You have to just say this, hide it. Now, if you save it and publish it again, it will hide that view, right? So that way you can hide it up. Right? It's gone now. So it's not there, filter pane. So that's how you can hide it up. No, the file will not automatically update. So you have to set up the gateways, set up the schedule time. So a lot of steps will go into that. Okay. Right. Right, guys. So I think that I see there are a lot of questions still that are pending, right? But I think we're pretty short on the time. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hope you all, this was a jump start, right? So I hope this gave you a fair enough idea, right? How to start working with this, right? So that was something which was which got clear with you. Definitely, there is a lot of the more explanation and like I mean, definitely Power BI take a lot of time to learn all the things. So hope we'll have some more future sessions. So we'll stay connected till then.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. I see that you have answered quite a lot of questions already. So again, now all our audience know what edTalks are, and I hope you would like to join us for a future edTalks. We do have one upcoming edTalk on the 15th of June, which is Rise with SAP, Private and Public Cloud, with a very, very renowned speaker, Dr. Ravi. You can follow us on LinkedIn for more updates. Once again, thank you, Amit. This was a really great session. I could see so many questions and you answering them continuously together, which is very hands-on. Thanks a lot. And I hope it was a really great experience for all our learners. Thank you, Amit. It was great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. For everyone waiting for feedbacks, I would like to inform you that please let me know. You will be getting emails, you will be getting Zoom links. From there, you can find how to share the feedback, how to win the voucher of ₹1,000 on Amazon. My email address is ashutosh@edforce.co. Once you have written the feedback, you can follow us on LinkedIn, share the screenshots on my email ID, and I'll be sending you an Amazon voucher within a week. Stay tuned for more edTalks. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, the session is recorded and the recording is available on our website on the edTalks page. Apart from it, we'll be also sending you an email tomorrow, which comes from Zoom, in which the recording link will be there. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, everyone. It was great having you.